Welcome back, everyone, on this wonderful Wednesday, Valentine's Day, and in honor of the day of St. Cupid, the day known for love, Cupid's bow and arrow, and overpriced candy. This week's theme for Shot of Serotonin revolves around sweet treats that are either a blast from our taste bud past or discontinued. So yesterday, Jeremy, we celebrated National Pancake Day. And there is a specific treat from an IHOP commercial that you referenced, and I had to know what we were talking about. So it was the Fruity Tooty Fresh and Fruity meal.
Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity.
Rudy Tooty, I read that wrong. Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity. See, I still can't get it correct. From IHOP. So I wasn't familiar with it, and I had to do my research, and I gotta say, I am so bummed I never tried this before, but let's take a look.
We have a great breakfast at the International House of Pancakes restaurant.
I'll have the Rudy Tooty.
The Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity breakfast.
I'll have the Rudy Tooty.
2 eggs, 2 bacon, 2 sausage, 2 fruit top pancakes, strawberry, blueberry, peach, or cinnamon apple. People just love the breakfast.
I'll have the Rudy Tooty.
They just take the name.
Rudy Tooty, only $3.99 at your IHOP now.
Maddie, that makes me so sad.
Okay, well, we haven't, here's where I'm going with this, okay. Jeremy, please. I haven't had it either, but this was a commercial from 1990, and the entire meal cost $3.99.
That's why I'm sad. How could we not afford that?
I don't know, but what I'm saying is maybe a clone kitchen.
Oh.
We make our own Rudy Tooty.
I'm in.
I don't know. But yeah, I was just gonna say $3.99 for all that food is so insane. Now, did you know, I mean, is there a reason why they were wearing disguises?
Yes, for the commercial, they were embarrassed to say the name.
Okay,
That's
I was trying to, and I was researching it. I was like, what is the meaning behind the disguises in the
If you watch
Rudy
the beginning
Tooty?
of that again, it's like they came into order and they were embarrassed to say Rudy Tooty.
Rudy
Fresh and Fruity.
Okay.
So they had the bag, they had the sunglasses with the nose, like, and then, don't be embarrassed to order this amazing breakfast.
Right.
Yeah.
$3.99. Okay, this next sweet treat just transports me to a much simpler time yet. As a kid, I did find myself often wondering just what all was inside a Wonder Ball. Let's take a look.
What is this?
Nestle Wonder Ball!
Oh, I wonder, what's in my Wonder Ball? Who knows what surprises a Wonder Ball can hide? Yummy Nestle chocolate with candy shapes inside. Oh, I wonder, what's in my Wonder Ball?
Toy Story! I got Lion King. Mine's Dalmatian. Lots of candy surprises, plus a sticker. Nestle Wonder Ball. It's candy and chocolate and foil in a box.
What's in your Wonder Ball?
The coveted Nestle Wonder Ball. Now, it was originally called the Nestle Magic Ball. These were the candy commodity to have in the 90s and early 2000s. However, sadly, this magical candy was discontinued altogether in 2004. And here's the kicker. They were first taken off the shelves in 1997 in response to a lobbying effort mostly spearheaded by parents that claimed the toys inside the chocolate shell presented choking hazards.
Took the words out of my mouth.
Yep. So here is what Nestle did. The candy came out with a new name and a new concept, and they were rebranded to Wonder Balls. And instead of toys, they were filled with candy, as you saw from the clip. Now, I remember my friends and I would shake them before biting into them to see, like, okay, how many candies do we have? What do we think? Like, that was, I guess, my first foray into making bets on everything and maybe some gambling, you know? Like, hey, I think I'm gonna bet Lion King. So, did you ever have Wonder Balls?
Couldn't afford them.
Okay, so this shot of Serotonin.
I didn't grow up rich, Maddie, in St. Louis. Okay?
Okay.
Rub it in, Maddie.
I didn't either, but now we know what's inside a Wonder Ball. Okay, and our final candy I'm going to show wasn't one I preferred to eat, but I do vividly remember this commercial playing before the Lion King VHS tape, for all you youngins out there. That's something you put into a TV and it played a movie. And it's crazy that I can and cannot remember that this is what I saw before the Lion King. Its jingle is also super catchy, and sometimes I'll just find myself randomly singing it out of the blue, so let's take a look.
Sun-ripened raisins, Nestle milk chocolate, that's as good as it gets. Good and wholesome and more, she's always ready to pour.
I'm always ready to catch some raisinets. I want to catch some raisins.
Ooh, they're all mine.
Catch some.
Chocolate-covered sunshine.
Catch some raisins.
Catch some raisinets.
Catch some raisinets.
I wanna
Catch some raisins.
It's that very end. Catch some
Catch some
raisins.
catch some
Raisinets. I wanna Get some Rays, get some Raisins. Again, I think this is a big company or big chocolate company trying to hide fruit into candy so kids would eat them and be like, yeah, this is healthy, you know. But I do have a few shout outs that I want to give to other sweet treats that I personally consumed as a little kid. Dannon's Sprinklins yogurt. What you get? What you get? Sprinklins. And it had the sprinkles on top. Again, first foray into eating yogurt. I thought it was cool because it had sprinkles. Fruit-shaped Trick cereal is no longer sold. It changed in 2007. I don't know why, but they're now just little like pebble-looking things. Crispy M&Ms. Now, I first tried crispy M&Ms on a trip with my family overseas, and it was the coolest, tastiest thing ever. So when we came back to the U.S., I was like, where do we get these? And then they kind of made a resurgence to see if they would do well here, but unfortunately they didn't. And then here's one that my sisters introduced me to. So like 80s, 90s, koala yummies. Did you ever have those? They were like little like graham cracker type things, but they were stuffed with icing in the middle. Oh my gosh.
No,
I cannot find them anywhere. I would say it's most comparable to maybe like a Dunkaroo, but the
I've heard
icing.
of Dunkaroos.
Dunkaroos, yeah, but you dunk it in versus the koala yummies that already had it in there. So, any nostalgic candies for you that you'd like to give a shout out?
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for reminding me that we were too poor to have any candy. Thanks, Maddie.
That is not the theme of today.
I'm just kidding. I've had Raisinets.
Okay.
I've had Raisinets. My favorite candy bar growing up was whatchamacallit.
Okay, and do they still sell those?
Yes, they still have whatchamacallit.
Okay.
I had not had one in years, but.
There was one I also wanted to show. I just didn't have any tie to it. It was called like Bunkers. It was it was fruit flavored. So I almost did, but I had no idea what it was, and you know. Well,
but if you guys want any of these old candies, you should try Dick's 5 and 10 down in Branson because they have all the old-timey stuff, including clove gum, which is my favorite. So maybe they might have these. You never know.
I'm gonna get some rays in there.
All right, guys, don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're on a run to Buffalo Run Casino and Resort right after this.